Hello, my little droplets. Welcome back to 8 Drops of Color. So today I'm going to be drawing this little trinket that I got from ChickFilA. It's just one of their original sandwiches. Do you guys remember when it was super big between them and Popeyes and who had the best chicken sandwich? It's funny because when I go there, I don't even get a chicken sandwich from either of them. I usually get like the nuggets, grilled nuggets from Chick-fil-A. Anywho, I ended up winning this little trinket from Bingo. They do free Bingo days. So that's kind of cool. You can get like DOCs, which is like free food, or you can get little keychains like this. I find this to be so cute. And I'm just really trying to draw from life as quickly as I can. So right now I'm making an ACEO. I'm sure we've seen them all over the place. They've really blown up for me lately on TikTok. I don't think I'll be selling this one, but I ended up buying like a pack of cards to make ACEO, so I'm not cutting them out by hand. They're already in the size of a trading card, and then I got the little plastic cover so I can trade, so if I can get more, then I can either put them in to go with the rest of my collection, or maybe just make a bunch of my own. So this is me really figuring out how to, make my first one. So that's super exciting. Well, I haven't been posting too much here on YouTube. I have been still working on my drawing, but it's mostly been going for portraits because that's the next thing I want to tackle. As you can see on my channel, I've uploaded a lot of different animals, specifically birds. I'm pretty good with that, but I've always really struggled to draw human features. Like the faces I can kind of get, but then when it comes down to the clothes, that's where I kind of struggle more. So during this break that I've had, I've really been trying to draw humans more. And in fact, I got a book. It's Lauren Horn's. This is not a sketchbook. This is an art class. So hopefully you'll see my style change and evolve as I am, progressing into my journey as an artist, especially when it comes to like the realism side of things, so I can do more portraits of people. I think that's the next thing that I want to conquer. But anyway, one of the things that I'm learning right now is how to like replicate the different objects that I see or the basic shapes that I'm seeing. So I use that for the original sketch of the fried chicken sandwich. And so now I'm going in with color to really bring out the detail, because the first step, you want to do that lightly so that the composition's right and you can correct it. And then as I'm going over it in color, I'm just trying to look at the different shades of it. See, you're seeing a top-down view, but when I'm drawing it, I'm looking at it like straight on, as if like almost you're eating the burger. You're not looking down it, you're looking at the front of it where you're about to take the next bite. So that's why this isn't a top-down version of it. I just wanted to keep it in frame, so that's why I have it up above my mechanical pencil there. So as you can see, I'm going in with acrylic markers, and obviously I don't have the exact colors, and with acrylic markers you can somewhat do the blends, but the blends are different in the fact that you have to layer it on while it's still wet, and I kind of don't like mixing my colors like that because it makes the marker tip a little bit dirty, and you have to dry it off, scrape it off either on the cap or on the drawing. So I tend to try and pick the colors that I want and just place them next to each other. I'm not really trying to blend. If I'm trying to blend, I'll go for my alcohol markers. And this is watercolor paper that I got for the ACEO. So that's really thick, and that's going to absorb so much of the marker if I'm using my alcohol markers, which is why I decided to go for my alcohol markers, because I know they're not going to take up they're not gonna be like dried out after several uses. Yes, the medium is small. It's 2.5 by 3 to be like at trading card size, but still, I'm doing several of these a day, which I do plan on doing. It will go through them very, very fast. So to preserve the quality and the texture of my alcohol markers, I will be avoiding that. Now I do have two, the Ohuhu and the Copic, so of course I'm not going to use the Copic. If anything, I would have used the Ohuhu. I hope in the future that when I'm doing these ACOs, I can get my get paper that's like more suitable for, you know, Copic markers or alcohol markers generally. Now I won't be, I know like a lot of alcohol approved paper is super thin, and of course that's not going to work for ACOs, because if you're having them out, you're trading them, you're looking at them, you can't use like flimsy paper, and that paper tends to be super thin and it just wouldn't be suitable. So I'd probably have to either get like mixed media paper, but that's not such a high like grams, or like get a sketchbook and like cut out the pages and, you know, use a ruler to make sure that I'm doing the exact size. So we should really see like how that goes. But as for right now, I'll be doing acrylic markers, and then when I get to the place where I can get my watercolors again, I'll be doing watercolors. So it'll be a mix of those. I think I really like sticking with the acrylics because it's a little bit faster. You don't have to wait like this long drying time for the watercolors. I guess I could, you know, bring out my hair dryer to blow it out, but that's a whole other issue. So going back to this drawing, since it was like a burger, well, to me, it looks like a burger. It's not. It's a fried chicken sandwich. I think that's a really American. So I'm labeling this piece all American. So that's why you're going to see the stripes. And what I was going for, you know how when you're having a picnic, it's usually that white and red like blanket that you put down under the hood. That's kind of the vibe I'm going for here. So you see me going in with these stripes, and looking at it now during the editing stage, of course it does look like a flag, but I think that's appropriate, especially for the title All American. And yeah. What's funny about this drawing is I included pickles on the sandwich, and usually when I'm having a sandwich, especially if it is, you know, a chicken sandwich, I would avoid pickles, even on a burger. I like cucumbers, but something about pickles I just don't like. I think it's the saltiness, but I don't mind like the flavor they leave behind. I know some people like, you can still taste like that salty, pickly flavor. That's okay, but the pickle itself, I just cannot do for whatever reason. And I used to be kind of like this with mayo. If I have the option, I'll order my like sandwiches without mayo. But I think at least for like a turkey sandwich, the mayo kind of does enhance the flavor. I'm not going to lie. And as you see, with the line work, I'm using the microns. I realized, I kind of want the orange to come down a bit more for the chicken sandwich to give it a little bit more volume. And I think that's a nice thing about, you know, waiting to the end to do your line work, because it can really change how things are perceived. For instance, I'm going in, giving the pickles some texture, and I gave what looked like a relatively flat, you know, chicken patty some texture with the line work.